Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, we're checking out an updated tier list over on Pride when they've added Hugin into some of the rankings. So let's go ahead and see where the tier list is sitting at. There's a few interesting things in here as well with other changes they've made. So we might go through the changelog first, and then we'll jump down and take a look at the actual lists in themselves, because I always like taking a look at the changelog and tier list for a bit of perspective. So this one, Hugin has been added to the tier list. We have updated the AFK and PvP tier list to better reflect the meta shift and also to make the tier lists less top heavy. Cool beans, because I think that's always a criticism if you have too many at the top. They're like, oh, is that really the list then? So cool to see. Let's see. AFK stages. Sonya moving down one, not as prevalent as other S plus characters, but still very good for AFK stages. Nara A to S works well even at one copy. This is true in tech situations where you can make it work, but if you only got one copy and you got a bunch of maxed out units, I don't know. I still try to use mine, even though my account's free to play, and she still struggles a little bit compared to other units. Scarlita from S plus to A. At some point, enemies get too tanky. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Lenya going from S down to A because she's squishy. Florabelle S down to A, fell down in AFK stage usage. Antandra from S down to A. We have more good, we do have more good tanking options. I still like Antandra as a free to play. Once you get the key Mauler's set, you can just slap her in there and away you go. Lamont A to S is still good for the dedicated AFK pushes. When they say still good for the dedicated AFK pushes, I believe that means for the manual play. We covered this probably, I want to say maybe even 5 months ago, where we spoke about how Lumont was working really well because he could reposition and he's super tanky and he's got the stuns, but you got to play him on manual mode in those teams with the smoke, you get the kill. But I mean, if you're doing it, go nuts. Leica B to C not used, Nero B to C not used, Mikola A to B dies too easily. Yeah, I've never been a fan of her in AFK stages. Ludovic A to B doesn't offer enough utility. Hugin S to A too slow. I mean, she does get a bit with her extra energy at the start, but yeah, I can see that. But I mean, she does have the little save as well. Damien S to A doesn't heal enough. Okay, that's a massive shift now. Cassidy B to A, great with light bearers, and obviously because we do have the 2 split ones, but this will obviously change in the new season because we don't know what we'll have. Already S plus down to S, still very good, but not quite Harak, Lily May, Arden levels. PvP, we got DNL dropping, we got Dunlinger dropping a little bit. I'm not going to go through the complete detailed thing. Granny gets a drop, Lucius gets a drop, Luca gets a drop. Who are the big ones? Sinbad down from S to A, Sonya down from S to A. Awkward positioning requirements make her hard to use. It does. It's really frustrating for me, and I kind of miss my Tassie that I swapped to get my Sonya. Carolina dropping, not as good as Arden. Dice to May, 100%. Burial S down to A. Any other big moves up or down? Lenya dropping from S down to A as well. Needs open maps to perform well. Makes sense. Okay, so that is a look at the changes. Now let's take a look at the lists themselves to have a look. So this is the AFK stage 1. Now something that you'll note is Harak is firmly on the top in every aspect of the game. S plus, S plus, S plus. The dude's an absolute beast, and I love him because he's one of the coolest designed characters I've seen in the game, which I absolutely love. But we've still got the pretty standard stuff. Not much has changed in terms of AFK stages, except for the Harak entry. Besides that, we've still got the control-based teams that are working really well, and then the smoky-based teams. Freyasto being just an amazing, overpowered tank in general, and then almost filling the role if you don't have him. And that's pretty much, I feel like we've been pretty much in the grouping type meta for a very long time, and that is no different. We do have Hugin sitting there in the S. I do believe that if we get, if we look at the top tier damage dealers, Arden, yes, and Carolina, yes, but everything else, nothing else is like a damage dealer that stays stationary. So I think once we get one of those damage dealers, I think Hugin is going to have his time to shine even more once we get a DPS that really synergizes with the way he wants to play with his buffing. Battle drills, where did he end up in battle drills? Probably pretty low, I would assume. Yeah, all the way down here. Just doesn't offer enough support for the battle drills in a sense. Maybe once again, if we get a specific unit that works really well, it can sit there and buff and he can wipe waves and stuff. I mean, I think I'd get some use out of him, but yeah, I don't think he's quite on the tier of Damien and Rowan for that. But maybe someone finds some uses in battle drills, because you got to consider bosses and also trash mobs in the battle drills to look at. But besides that, Lenya, Harak, Harak. Harak just, like I said, just dominates absolutely everywhere. He's good for bossing. He's good at clearing the tiny mobs. He's not so good on the, when you get like 5 chunky mobs in the battle drills, he kind of struggles there because he eats his team and then you lose out on damage. But if it's little mobs, he just goes, gadoof, 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 gadoof. It's super satisfying. Absolutely love it. Sonya putting in work as well. Then we jump over. We'll take a look at the Dream Realm specific in a sec. PvP, once again, Harak meta is definitely a thing. I'm loving the Harak. Tassie, absolutely amazing as well in PvP. Like I said, I'm kind of sad I swapped her out for my Sonya, but at the end of the day, I chose to swap. And it makes me cry every time I jump into the arena. But yeah, Lily May, Vala's still working really well, especially with the Harak combo. You pair that with the Sylvina. This is like one of my more budget-friendly teams that I love. If you went ahead and pulled Harak, is just using Vala Sylvina to get some big damage on a back row, and then Harak goes in and gets his early kill really easily, and then you just snowball from there. Besides that, I don't think too much crazy has changed in the meta. Like I said, Harak has been the big shake-up in the meta. Besides that, everything else is staying quite firm. Dionel used to be like the primary damage dealer for it, but Harak became too much of a threat there, so dropping him down. Scarletta still holding her spot as there. I mean, I guess Rainier, if you got him maxed out, yeah, definitely. That makes sense to me. And then Freyaso is just an absolute beast. That is cool, but let's go over and let's take a look at the Dream Realm standings at the moment, and let's see, where's old mate Hugin? I'm curious to see what kind of ranking they gave Hugin, because I just don't think he has an ideal partner yet. Yeah, so Hugin he doesn't have... He just doesn't have the ideal partner. Like, we need a DPS that synergizes with him, that will fully take benefit of his buffs. And at the moment, we don't have that. If Lily May was a stationary sniper, like, then maybe, yes, we get something out of him. But at the moment, it's just not going to be his place to shine, unfortunately. So Hugin is a bit of just a safe skip, if we're being completely honest. I don't know why Smokey goes above Mikola when she's S+ everywhere, but these two very good supports. Freyasto, obviously, once we get to Endless, this is what we're focusing on here, is Endless. Freyasto is just an absolute monster in every aspect of every boss. Harak struggling in Croaker, Alpha Bear, and Crystal Beetle. I still use him in Crystal Beetle on my account because I'm lacking options. I actually use him in Croaker on my test server account as well because I don't have the other options that we need in there. But besides that, he is just an absolutely top tier unit in general. Then we got Lily May. Lily May making massive damage as well. And also, you know, even if you're running her with Harak, gets eaten, gives him the buff at the end of battle. She's normally one of the last ones to get eaten, if she gets eaten at all, just because she does have her avoidance of damage, which allows her to keep herself pretty healthy all the way around. Kruger, I'm not really using, I don't think I've used Kruger in a very, very long time. Sonya works really well. That S tier ranking across the board pretty much. These two battles obviously not giving her any usage, but the S tier in general is really good for her, especially if you have her built up. I'm loving my Sonya. I use her every battle pretty much as well when I've got limited characters to go ahead and play with. Coco, the free-to-play's best friend. Shakir definitely has his positions, and if you don't have many things built, Shakir can often slot into a lot of your best teams. Taylene coming in best in slot in a couple teams, and being just generally good everywhere, except for the Snow Stomper, because she just gets completely shut down by the Snow Stomper when she can't continuously rain her ult in. And then obviously Rainier, still good across the board, great in 3, but this guy, the thing is, you always find Rainier being like the top when it comes to pre-Endless, and then once we get it to Endless, it always just flips over into the Freyasto meta, and that's the way it goes. But that is a look at the updated tier list over on Pridewin for the current update with Hugin. Season's almost over, guys. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing the spice up of the new season, but as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.